Hey everybody, I just wanted to do a quick review video for what we went over in the first week of class as far as using those new MindTap tools and link through Blackboard. And basically what you have to do to kind of get started for these first assignments. So obviously the first thing I had to do was, log into Blackboard so you can see my announcements for the class. Then what you're going to do is over here on the left-hand side, I added a MindTap link. Now, when you click on that, what that will do is it will launch and it'll bring up your MindTap access. And actually, here, let me go back here for a second. I'm going to launch the MindTap link here. And when that opens, you're going to then choose your MindTap course. Now, the first time that you do this, okay, you're going to have to use that code that comes in the front cover of your text. So in your textbook, you should get a code. It's a code that will give you access to get into what's called MindTap. And when you log in, like I showed you, you're going to go in, and I put a Mind link button or little tab here on the left-hand side. Once you choose that, and again, that's right here. Here's the link. You're going to pick on this course. Once you choose that, then what will happen is you're going to go in and you're going to log in. Okay, now if you already have an account, you can log in. If you don't have an account, you choose new student. Okay, really important. It comes with your textbook, so do not purchase separately. There's no need to do that. You already have the code. You basically redeem the access code, which is this 5B down here, okay, meaning you already bought it because you bought the book at the bookstore. Once you put that in, you click on continue, and then you should see our course show up. Okay. If there are any issues, I have this, quick guide here that can help as well. A couple little things. You have to make sure that pop-ups are enabled. If you have any issues with that, there's a link here to that as well. So it's pretty straightforward. If you run into any issues, contact me. You can also contact Cengage directly for assistance with that. Going back though, I'm going to launch our MindTap course. And again, this is where all of the content is kept for using the projects and the quizzes, okay? Your MindTap course is going to look something like this, where you can actually see our introductory files, getting started. There's a video in here on how to use it, and then student data files. Now, keep in mind, I also have those student data files as well out here in Blackboard, right here under student data files, okay? So going back, you'll click on Excel, and we're first going to choose the first module, okay? So there's in here, getting started. When you click on this, this is just simply our textbook, okay? It's an ebook. So if you don't want to carry around the textbook, here's your ebook. It's really cool. The next option is training, and the training is not required. Okay, the training is not required. This is just simply extra practice, especially for the quiz exam, same thing. It can definitely help you with that. It's not a requirement of the course, okay? Then we get into the exam itself, okay? And what the exam looks like is, when you launch it here, you'll see that you can do each task 5 times. Yes, 5 times, because they're performance tasks. They're not multiple choice. You can also retake this exam 2 times. So I'm super generous. It is also not timed, okay? But keep in mind, you can't stop and restart it. Once you start it, you have to complete it, and that counts as one submission. Same thing if you redo it, okay? So when you click on start, you're going to launch this. And what is nice though is once you're in the quiz, you can actually go through and pick and choose your questions. So in here in my list, I can pick and choose which questions that I want to complete or not complete. I can skip around, which is a really cool feature, okay? So I encourage you to, as you go through, you can pick and choose your questions, but once they're done, they're done. Once you click on submit, guess what? It's done, okay? You can take as long as you want, okay? Once you submit to, then you should see your grades show. I'm the teacher, so my grade doesn't show here, but you will start to see your grades populate here on the right-hand side. And then you can actually even go into the gradebook as well for more detail. The next thing I want to talk about that's in MindTap here is your project. So I talked about the training, I talked about the exam. The next thing is your project. Your project is always worth the most points. Please remember that you always, always, always start with your textbook. What do I mean by that? Every time that you go in and you do your assignments, you're going to see right here, every chapter has 3 assignments. Complete your tutorial in your textbook, okay? Then, once you're done with that, then you can log in and you can use MindTap to complete both your exam and your project. So as I was saying, every week it's very routine. You'll do your tutorial, your module, you'll go in. Once you're done with that, then you're going to go in, do your exam and your project in MindTap, okay? And I have very detailed directions in here as well in Blackboard explaining that as well, okay? So just keep in mind when you do your tutorial, okay, that's in your book, that's your module, same thing, that's going to be right here. So when you submit that in Blackboard for grading, okay, what you're going to do is, let me just turn on my student view here, okay, you're going to actually go in and you're going to choose the Chapter 1 module, okay. Now, when you're done with pages EX1 in Chapter 1, Module 1 in your book, you're going to go EX1 all the way through page EX57. You're going to start with a file that's called Finances, okay? And you're going to end with a file called Game Card, okay? When you're done, you're going to go in, you're going to browse your computer, you're going to find your file, okay? And I'm just pretending here, okay? This is not the right file, but we're just pretending, okay? Then click on Open, okay? When you have your file open, then you simply click on Attach, Submit, okay? Once that's submitted, okay, then you're done. You're set, okay? I have to grade that, okay? That cannot be done in MindTap, all right? You do that, then you're going to go in. You're going to go right back into MindTap, okay? Go right back into our course, okay? And then you're going to choose, in this case, you're going to choose to do the project and the exam. All right, so the last thing I want to talk about is your project, which is worth the most points. Keep in mind, you have to walk before you run, as I've already said. So you did your textbook module, you submitted that in Blackboard, then you can go in, you can do your exam, and then do your project. I don't care which order it is, okay, but keep in mind your exam is only worth 20 points. However, your project is worth 100, okay? So let's talk about the project. Okay, this has to be done through MindTap. You don't do anything with your book, okay? Your textbook. You can use your textbook as a reference. You click on it, you go in, and you're going to click on Start. All right. So once you click on Start, you're going to go in and you're going to see 3 options, okay? The first option, step 1, is you're going to download the instructions. These are the instructions that are going to tell you what to do, the instructions to follow, okay? The second thing is you need your start file, okay? So notice that everybody's start file has their own name in it, okay? Again, click on the link, it will download, and let that load, okay? Now, third step is after you complete the project, what you're going to do is then you're going to submit it. So you're not going to submit it until you actually go in, follow the steps, and complete the project. Okay, so I have my project open. I have my directions right here, okay? And as I go through, I'm going to follow this step by step. And again, you can use your textbook as a reference. That's why we have it. But the big thing is, it's really, really important at the very first step that you follow the getting started. Notice that it's telling me to change my file name from a 1 to a 2 at the end. What does that mean? That means that in Excel, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here, okay? I have my file. It says a 1, and I'm going to file, I'm going to save as, all right? And I'm going to put a 2 at the end, okay? The reason why you have to put a 2 at the end is that when you attach it in SAM for grading, it will not accept the file unless it has a 2 at the end. Take a note here. You can see that step 3, when you submit, right here, do you see this? How it says your name, and then it has a 2. Number one reason why students have trouble getting their file submitted is because they didn't change the 1 to a 2. Okay, so let's go back. You're going to go in, you're going to save that. Again, make sure you know where you're saving it, whether it's on your flash drive, desktop, etc. Save it, go through, make your changes, do exactly what it tells you to do. What's really nice is that if you actually scroll to the end of your directions, it shows you a really nice visual of what your project should look like at the very end. So I'm a visual learner myself. I find that to be super helpful. Okay, so wrapping things up, once you submit your file, how do you know how you did? Well, the way that you know how you did to check on your score and to view your report is you're going to go into your grade book, okay? And to give you a little bit better idea of that, I'm going to switch back into my other view here, okay? And in my announcement, I had put out there that once your file has been graded, you'll then go into the grade center, grade book, excuse me, you'll go in and view your score, okay? Now, I did put a video out there as well that kind of shows you this process as well. When you go into your grade book, you can see what your score was, and then to get more detail, what you're going to do is, I'm skipping ahead a little bit here, you can look at your assessment. You can then generate a report, okay? That will download, and then here's what's really cool, guys. It will actually show you what you did wrong, okay? And the power of that is you can learn from your mistakes. That's why I give you 5 times to get it right, meaning that you have 5 times to fix and resubmit your file, your project file, for the highest grade possible. Okay, again, that's worth 100 points. That's worth the most points each chapter. Okay, so hopefully this all made sense. Every week it becomes very routine as far as, you know, what is required every week. It's always going to be do your book, your textbook, do that first. Again, those data files are found right here. Those are only for your textbook. Once you're completed with that, then you're going to log in, go to MindTap to complete both your exam, quiz, same thing, and your project, okay? Remember the quiz, exam you can do 2 times, and your SAM case you can do 5 times. Okay, guys? Hope this helped. Thank you.